Our next guest here on Futbol Americas, none other than Richie Laryea of the Canadian men's national team and Nottingham Forest to the championship in England. Richie, great to have you with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys.
All right, well, let's start with something that I'm sure many of our viewers are not looking forward to, but we got to go back to that big victory over the United States. Just how did you guys pull it off?
Yeah, I think it was a good game. They're a very talented side. They're a good team, and we knew it was going to be a fight, and it was going to be a really, really hard game because they're obviously a very good team. So I think we executed a pretty good game plan in a sense where we were able to, match a lot of things that they did football-wise, but then we, I think, ramped it up intensity-wise throughout the entire game.
Richie, I got to ask you, John Herdman's a very interesting character to me. He was the Canadian women's national team coach and then goes and coaches the men's team. What is it like as a player to play for John Herdman? He seems like a player's coach type of guy.
Yeah, he's definitely is a player's coach. He's come in here and he's changed the culture and the outlook of Canadian soccer because I'm sure, like you guys know, a couple of years back, you guys probably weren't having these type of discussions about Canada soccer. So I think he's come in with a clear vision, with a good staff and support staff, and then also bringing in the right players. And he's really, I think, created this culture amongst all of us. And, we call it a brotherhood. And I think it's spot on because I think for everyone watching at home, they see whenever we get on the field, it's, if one guy's down, everyone's picking up that guy. If one guy's in the mix in a fight, whatever it is, a little scuffle, everyone has that person's back. So, it's kind of, we say it a lot here. It's a we mentality versus a me mentality here. So I think that's what we kind of live and die by on this team. And he's created a very, very tight knit culture and brotherhood within all of us, to be honest.
Okay, Richie, so I'm hearing words like culture. I know there's a lot of talent on this Canadian team. I got to bring up another word, temperature. Every time we see you guys having these kind of massive results, it seems to be just in the frigid cold. How much of an advantage is that for you? And as a player, do you actually like it?
Yeah, I mean, the one in Edmonton was rough, man. That was pretty cold, and I know a lot of us were in short sleeve, but after the game, we were dying, man. But growing up here, a lot of us are used to it. We have to play outdoor actually, sometimes in January and February. So for me, it was something I was a little bit used to, obviously, but not necessarily love playing in negative 20 degrees Celsius weather. But as much as I didn't like it, the guys on the Mexico national team hated it even more. So that worked. That worked to our benefit. But I mean, I think it's smart. You go to Mexico, you play at Azteca, and you play in altitude. So they have that going for them. So maybe this is something we can do moving forward, where advantage, whatever you want to say, it's something we're used to versus, for example, the Mexicans are used to playing at Azteca and altitude. So I think they have that. We now have this. So it's, I don't know, maybe something we can continue to use moving forward.
That's an interesting question that Sebi just brought up, an interesting comments you have about using it to your advantage. You look around CONCACAF, Azteca, Cuscatlán in El Salvador, Honduras, San Pedro Sula. What's the most difficult venue in your eyes in CONCACAF?
Well, we've gone to Honduras recently, and we've also gone to Azteca. So, and we've also been in Jamaica as well. So, all of those were different and difficult in their own ways. Azteca, obviously, with the altitude is really difficult, and they're used to it. And none of us were used to it, so it's difficult. Honduras was also, difficult as well. I know they weren't full capacity, but you could feel the energy that the stadium has. And Jamaica was a completely closed door game, but as Jamaica, the pitch is what it is, and the weather, it was extremely hot on the day. So, it's tough. So probably I would say Azteca for me, even though it wasn't full capacity, but between the altitude and then the magnitude of the game, it's, something that professional soccer players die for, and those are the type of games you want to play in. So I would say in terms of the magnitude and altitude and the type of game we wanted to play and how big of a statement we wanted to make, that was the number one for me.
Richie, you guys entered this window first in CONCACAF. You're going to leave this window first in CONCACAF. And I think what makes it so impressive is that you've done it in this window without Alphonso Davies. How have you been able to manage to kind of maintain that level without, I think, what's very easily your best player and probably the best player in the region, without a doubt?
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, when you're missing a player like that, and he is the best player in CONCACAF, it's a huge loss for you. But again, I just bring it back to the culture that we've created here with Canada Soccer, and it's a group that fights for each other, and we really believe now. So it's obviously we miss Alphonso, where we hope he's all good and he'll be joining us in March. But it's also, we all took it as an opportunity to again make another statement across CONCACAF. Is like, yeah, our best player is not here, but we can still go and win games, and we're gonna go and win games. You know, so I think this is what the best teams in the world do. They don't have their talisman, the main man on their team, and they still go to these places, play against top opponents, tough conditions, and win games. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And also the pool on our team is deep. We have a very deep roster. One man is down or a couple of men are down. Obviously we'll miss them, but we have a strong enough pool to compete with anyone, with even a guy like Alphonso, as good as he is, missing.
Richie, let's talk the big move. You just completed a transfer to Nottingham Forest. It's in the Championship Division. In England, reports out of Toronto where Toronto FC was ready to make you the highest paid fullback in Major League Soccer. It's a World Cup year. You could have easily stayed in Canada, in Toronto, and still been a starter for Canadian men's national team in a World Cup. Why take the chance or the risk in your eyes and go to the Championship?
Yeah, for me, England is the mecca of soccer in the world. So, you know, that opportunity came about, and I've always said it to myself, said it to my loved ones, my family, that if the opportunity ever came for me to go to Europe, I want to go, because it's been a dream of mine since I've been a little boy. And growing up, I've always wanted to explore Europe and see what it's like there. Obviously, watching a bunch of games as a kid with my brother and my dad, that's the one thing I wanted to do. And I knew doing well in the MLS and then doing well with the national team, I might be able to help myself get over there, and it might present some opportunities for me. So when it did, it was a perfect moment, I think, for me to go, especially with a World Cup, with it being a World Cup year and our national team doing as well as it's doing. I felt like it was the perfect scenario and situation for me. So I'm happy. I wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone as well and do something new where I'd have to dig deep and find out more about myself. And, you know, some good things obviously will come and some bad things will come, but it's all part of the ride. And I think it's perfect for me right now in my career to go and experience this.
Richie Laryea then flying at the international level, flying at the club level as well. Richie, thanks for being with us here on Futbol Americas. Continued good luck with Canada.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.